This video is going to be a very quick look at some of the same things that we've done with Cin and Cout. So it's going to be very brief, very fast. I think I'm going to try to get through all of this, some of this material as fast as I can. So all of the Cin and Cout character I/O is the same for files. So all of the things like insertion, extraction, get line, put back, peek, ignore, all of those things that we used for Cin, Cout are also available with fin with input streams that deal with files and output streams. So you can use loops to process files until the end. That's usually how you do things. So you can check for end of the file using EOF. That's something we didn't have to do with Cin. We never have to check for end of file, but with actual files, yeah, you can check if you've reached the end of the file by using whatever stream object.eof. Use the EOF function, member function. Okay, so you can put that in a loop, and while you haven't reached the end of the file, keep getting a string, and put something into the output and get the next thing in the input file. A second method would be to read until this thing fails. So for example, if you use the extraction operator with some input stream and check the value, so assign this to some value, or you can put that right into a loop. If it fails, this will give us false. So it'll give us 0 if you try to read something and it doesn't work. That is, you're not able to read things from a file. Okay, so once again, that was not something we needed to use for Cin, but for files, yeah, we need that. Another thing that you can do is get the name of the file that you want to read from, and all you need is a string. So remember that when we set up our program to read from an input file, all you really needed was the string. And so if you wanted to have the program ask the user, where is this input.txt, you can have the user enter in a string that says what file to read from, and then read that file. So all you really need is a string that says where your file is. So in this case, it's src/input.txt. Could be anywhere though. So here's the kind of thing you can do: set aside an array of characters or a C-style string and ask the user, that is, to enter the name of a file. The user enters it in, and you read from Cin. You read the file name into this C-style string or array of characters, and then all you do is use the open function with that string that the user entered. So this is a way of asking the user tell me where the file is, and I will open that file, rather than just using a literal constant as we did in our example program and as shown in the examples here. So this gives us more flexibility in that now we can have the user specify where the file is. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of things like fixed point, show the decimal point, the number of digits of precision. If you want to show that, if you want to print in currency form, that is dollars and cents, you just want two digits after the decimal point. All of those things, just like we did with Cout, you can do the same thing with any IF stream or OF stream object. So all you have to do is call OF's output stream and set F. You can have all of these same options. So I'm not going to go over these things. I'm just going to skim over this. You can set the width of the next thing that you want to output. So let's say you want to put out things in a nice columns, and always set the width to 5. So even if you're printing out the number 10, You can set the width to 5 so that if you, just in case you have a large number further down, it'll all appear nice, neat columns. Okay, so these are things that we've done with C in, C out. It works the same way here. So there's a whole bunch of flags that you can set using the setf function, and all output streams have this setf member. Flags are constants in the iOS class, and you can get to them using just by #include iostream and using the standard namespace. So here are some more examples. So you can use iOS fixed, iOS showpoint, iOS write, and you can OR these together. So what this is doing is a bitwise OR. And if you want to OR these flags, you want to use this single line, not the double line. The double line is a Boolean OR. The single the single line here is a bitwise. It actually ORs all the bits. And that's what you want to use if you want to OR these different flags together. I want to quickly go over manipulators. Manipulators are things that you put into a stream using insertion and using the insertion operator. So for example, let's take an example like set width or set precision. They are manipulators defined in the iomanip library. It's also in the standard namespace. This is how you would use it. You would say print out the string start and then print out set width 4. And then so what that says is for the very next thing, I'm going to set the width to 4. So even though we're printing out a 10, it's going to have 4 spaces. So take a look at this example. This shows you what you're going to end up with. Print out star, 2 spaces in the 10 because we used a width of 4, 2 more spaces in the 20 because we also again used a space of 4. And after that we set the width to 6 and print to 30, which means this gives us 4 spaces between the 20 and the 30. So note that this set width affects only the next outputted value. You have to set width before each outputted item that you're going to put out. So there's a whole bunch of these. There's set precision, works pretty much the same way. You can save all of these flags. There's many ways to do this. There's a nice example that shows you. So here's a saving flag settings example. I would highly recommend that you go over this. I'm not going to go over it in a lot of detail, but it's a nice way to save flags. And then you can restore the default setf settings. And so I'm going to quickly go over. And the next thing that we will cover is hierarchies of streams, that is using class relationships between the stream objects. And for this we will need a little bit of understanding of inheritance, which we haven't really covered in C++, but I think from your background in Java, you should have no problems understanding this.